Today is going to be my journey with my heart condition that changed my whole life. I'm only 24 years old. I was diagnosed with arrhythmogenic right ventricular cardiomyopathy when I was 22. So this is at the end of 2022. So that was one of the lowest points in my life. Fast forward to November, 11th of November. This was on a Friday night. I remember it clearly. I never will forget it. I was training with one of my best friends in the gym. I was doing back rows. After I finished like a heavy set, we'll walk into lat pull downs. And I remember I felt that I was about to pass out, but I didn't. I remember I felt like I had the longest blink where my friend was talking to me, then my vision got really blurry, blacked out for like half a second, and then my ears started ringing. I just felt very funny. I remember getting a protein bar, eating a bar to make me feel better, but I could just start feeling like a flutter in my chest. In my mind, I was like, no freaking way I set off a long-lasting heart condition. And lucky I didn't train, God knows what would happen. And also I didn't take pre-workout that session. I drove myself home, which I lived like 2 minutes away from the gym. And luckily my dad was home. Very lucky. I don't know what would have happened. Ran to my dad, told him I don't feel well for my chest and my heart is just feeling funny. And this is my pulse. It was 58 beats in 15 seconds. So that equates to around, they said around 226, which is nuts, crazy. I don't know how that felt in the moment. It was just my body had so much adrenaline and you could feel your heart pounding out of your chest. I just remember keeping calm in this situation because I know if I was stressed, I'll make myself worse. So I remember I was lying on the couch, tell my dad, don't call the ambulance, like, I reckon it'll go down. But since he had this heart condition when he was playing indoor soccer back in 2014, he knew what he was doing, thankfully. It saved my life, literally saved my life. Otherwise, I don't know what would happen if he wasn't home. I called the ambulance. They asked me if I was taking stuff. I said, no, I didn't do that shit. Like, I didn't take any pre-workouts and all that. And then they tried to inject me with a few things. I don't remember what it was, just to reduce my heart rate. None of it worked. So they rushed me to ER and they said they have to put me under to defibrillate me to reset my heart. And I remember I was like, do whatever you gotta do. So drove to the hospital. I remember being in the bed, them just putting the defib pads all over me, them doing ECG. You'll see in the charts around here. And I remember just passing out. I didn't remember getting defibrillated obviously. And I remember just waking up thinking that I still had to do it, but they said I already did it. And I remember my dad being next to me, talking to me. I thought it was a nurse for like 5 minutes, and then I realized my dad. I was just getting all my senses and all that back. And then after like 20 minutes, I felt completely normal. Like I was probably ready to go home. Obviously, I can't do that. This was on a Friday night. I had to be there the whole weekend because that's when no surgeon, barely any doctors are in. So I was in the public hospital area for the weekends. I was in the public hospital to Wednesday. It was the longest few days of my life. If you've been in public hospitals, you know, sharing rooms with people is a nightmare. I had to get two opinions to get an ICD. And overall I got 4 because the first 2 saying that I had to get it here. I could never lift weights again. And hearing that, oh yeah, it's terrible. It's like saying, oh, you won't be able to walk again. Because my job is PT and I live and breathe that. And that's my lifestyle. My last opinion I got is the same surgeon that worked on my dad. He just laughed at all that. He said, get a subcutaneous internal cardiac defibrillator. I got literally a wire running underneath my chest. It's the middle part of my chest. It touches my heart. And he said, the only thing you can't do is lift heavy weights off your shoulder, do scuba diving, do any contact sports. That's it. And he's like, live your life. And I was like, done, sign me up, done. You're the best. I was so happy when I heard that. And then I did it because I don't know if I would have actually gone through with it. So I got that. It was a fast recovery. I was like around 3 weeks and then I went back to work. I'm on heart medication. So when I got out of hospital, I was on metoprolol, which is a beta blocker. It reduces your adrenaline on your heart. It keeps me very mellow. So I have no adrenaline. So if something happens, like let's say if a tiger walks in the room now, or a lion, like I'll just be chill with it. Like it doesn't really faze me that much, so I'm just always chill. That's, yeah, how I had my heart condition. Very blessed that I had a very good support group. A lot of my family, a lot of my good friends came, like, you know who you are. And a lot of people reached out to me, which I did not expect. And also, I was doing TikTok before, and I was just doing that for fun. And then I posted my heart condition video. I'll put in a link below. It's on my main Instagram and TikTok. About me just training and then going for a PR, and then my heart rate hits a PR instead of 226. And then it shows me clips in the hospital, and then that blew up. I got like 1.8 million views. I had a lot of people DM me saying that they had very similar situations from themselves and from people that they knew, which made me feel so good because it's just, I knew that I wasn't the only one. And also for them, they feel like they weren't the only one. So then I connected with a few people as well. I got a client from America that found my video on TikTok, and he doesn't use social media, his wife found it. And he was one of my clients for a bit. He told me he was just very scared to get back into training. I know how that feels. It feels good that I'm not the only one and they know they're not the only one. It's a lot of mental challenge, especially having this. It's not just physical where you can't train, because I feel like I can do anything, but I have to train myself that I have to alternate to like a different lifestyle. Like the past life I had before, I have to change it, not completely, into ways where it's safer. So it's like the saying, don't train hard, train smarter. So that's what I got to do. And yeah, because I've had a few instances where I was training really heavy and stupid, where I had my machine go off, because my machine sets off when it's above 220. I've had a few times, and then I had a few episodes where it went off randomly, but that's for another time. If you have this heart condition, you're watching this, just know that you're not the only one. I said it 100 times, but trust me, you know what I mean. It's very hard, especially living like a normal, complete life until you get this surgery. You think it's a big setback, but in reality, it's not. You had a second chance at life, and every time your machine goes off, it literally is saving your life. So I've had my machine set off 6 times, so my life's been saved 6 times. That's the way I see it. And that's what's helped me with all the anxious feeling and anxiety that I would get having this. Keep it strong, keep it strong. That's it for me.